create a web API application for CRUD operations in .NET 6 or 7 using Entity Framework Core, with database first approach in SQL Server database. This is the agenda of today. So, as part of this, what we have to do? Step 1, create a web API core project. Second, install the required packages. Third, create a database table. Fourth, create a DB context file using DB first approach. And so before this, set connection, then create a controller. Which controller? API controller. Create a API controller to implement CRUD operations. So we'll do dependency injections, all those things. Let's see now. So what is the first thing? We have to create a new web API project. So today we are going to create a new project to implement our functionality. So for that, what I do, I go to Visual Studio. So in the Visual Studio, go to File, New Project. We have to create a new project. So here, which we have to select, I have to select Web API, search for it, Web API. So which Web API? Core. And what is the language? C# language. So click on Next. So it asks you to create a Web API. Web API is with DB first approach. Okay, this is my project name. Click on Next. So as of now, I'm going with 7. Click on Create. So I don't want to give any authentication now. I don't want any Docker now. I just want to create a project now. So now, project got created. If you see, this is the solution explorer where we will be having all these basic folders here. So what next? We have to install the packages. How to install packages? Go to your dependencies, packages, right click, manage NuGet packages. So here, what are the packages we have to give? Entity Framework Core. This is one package. And which version you need to select? So since we are using 7, we are going to, here all the latest versions are showing, but we will be selecting the initial version of 7. So we should not get any compatibility issues. That's the reason why I am selecting 7 here. Click on install. So it should ask this pop-up window, click OK, and we should accept this. Once I accept this, it is going to install this package. So now this package got installed. Got it? So now, entity framework is done. Next, entity framework core.tools. Why these tools? If you enable these tools, it will help you to do the migrations. Add migration, drop database, update database, remove migration. So all those migration commands, it will help now. So now, again, here also, I'm going to select the version 7 and click on install. So click OK and let's accept it. So this is also done. So what else? I have another package. It is our core.SQL Server. This package we have to install. So what is the version? So I'll go with the 7.2. This is the version. Click on install. So click OK. Click I accept. So now all these 3 packages got installed now. So now all the 3 packages got installed. Now I go and so what next? create a install package is done. So create a database table. So I'll go to my SQL Server. So go to SSMS SQL Server Management Studio to create your database table. So let's connect with the server. Windows authentication. I'm going with. I go to databases. So here we have different databases. So what I'll do, I'll go to new database. I'm going to create a new database. Either I can create like this or using command we can create. So how to create a database? So I'm going to create my product. AV first. AV first product. Click on OK. So it is going to create a database like this. Now let's create a table for it. How can I create a table? So I'll use a script to create a table. So create table. What is the name? For example, product table. So what is the ID? Product ID. Integer. I want to set identity for this. Why identity? I want to make it auto generation. So product ID, let's start with 100. So each time increment by 1. And I want to make it as a primary key. What is primary key? There is no duplicates and it doesn't allow null values. Product ID. Name of the product. And worker of 100. Description. Worker 200. And then price maximum MRP decimal. So this is my table. And let's create the table. So table got created now. Now if you go and refresh this, we could be able to see the database table here. So product got created. Now I'll go to my code. So now we have to execute the scaffolding, the migration command. So how to do this? Go to tools menu. Here you could be able to see the menu tools, and here we have you get package manager console. We could be able to see. So I'll make it as top so that it will be. This is below. Now, so what is the command? So we have to give DB context command. Step 4. So let me copy this command. I don't want to enter. Just copy this. So I'll explain what it do. Suppose scaffold DB context. What is the server name? You have to give your server name. So how to get server name? Go to your SQL Server. So this is your server name. Copy this. Paste it here. This is your server name. And what is your database? Database, we have AV first product. This is my database. F2, function key F2. Give the database name. Trusted connection true. Why this trusted connection true? So we are going with Windows authentication. So either you can give trusted connection true or integrated security SSPA or integrated security true. So and what is we are using Microsoft SQL Server. And the output directory, what you are giving here, models. So what it does, it is going to create a folder with the name of models. In that, it is going to create all those things. So let's click on execute. If everything connections correct, it is going to connect and execute your migration command. This is the command for database first approach we have to use. So there is an issue. The connection was successfully established with the server, but an error occurred during the login process. SSL provider. A certificate chain is issued by authority that is not trusted. It looks like created now. Yes, it's got created now. See, this is our DB context. And see, this is our products table. It got added here. So, what is this nullables? It can allow null values. So remaining all. So now our migration command done. So set the connection and create the DB context using code first approach. Sorry, DB first approach. The next what you need to do, you have to create a API controller and implement the CRUD operations. So now I have to do one thing. What is that? So we have to set this connection string in the program.cs. How to add? Similarly like yesterday, how we did. So how to do this? Go to your builder program.cs, builder.services dot add DB context. Yes. DB context. Not use SQL Server. Builder dot configuration dot get connection. Get connection. So we are going to specify your connection string name. Default. So this is done. Now we have added the connection string here. So this is done. So what next? So add in the program.cs. Now let's implement the CRUD operations. So to implement the CRUD operations, let's create the controller. What is controller? Right click, add controller. So MVC file controller, read write actions, click on add. So what is controller name? Product controller or manage product. Not MVC controller. It should be API controller. Right? API controller with read write actions. Manage product controller. Click on add. This is going to create the controller like this by default. So now we have to implement the dependency injection for your database context. So for that, let's create a constructor. So I'll create a constructor. And what is your DB context name? AB first product DB context. So I'll go to private DB context underscore DB context. Next, underscore DB context equals DB context like this. Next, dependency injection. So when we have the dependencies, to resolve the dependencies, we go for a dependency injection. So why we go for a dependency injection? To implement the loosely coupled code. So how this loosely coupled code? So every time we no need to create the, so usually if you don't do this, how we will be doing, which is context equals to new context, which is tightly coupled. So, so, uh, so we will take one session on dependency injection. Okay. Next, we'll cover that. Okay. So what is dependency injection? What is the purpose of this? How it is going to resolve? Okay. So we'll cover in the next session. Okay. I'll explain. That is very important. So now, this is our context. First thing, what you need to do, I have to get the all the products. So how can I get this? And let's go to the context start. What is your table? Products dot to list to give you the list of products. So as of now, we don't have anything. And the return type, it is expecting string. So what should be return type? Product. Your models, nothing but your entity. Okay. So this will give you the list of products. As of now, if you run this, you won't be having any products since there is no products inserted to it. So now I want to get a specific product. So how you do this? So implement like this. Product start. First or default. T implies T dot product ID equals to ID. When it matches with it, fetch that particular record. So this is to get a specific record from the product table. So where it matches with this ID, fetch that only that particular record. So next post. So this post to do the insertion. So here we are going to supply the model so that, so how to implement the insert underscore DB context dot table name, which is your products dot add and so your model, which is value here. Let me change it to product. So this product, I will add it here. It will do the insert to the database. So after insertion, we want to do the commit. So for that, underscore db context dot save changes. So that it is going to save to the database now. So once this save is done, next I have to do the update, edit, modify you want to do. Then you'll use this update or command. So here, what I do, I'll make this nullable so that every time it won't ask. If we don't want, we can remove as well. Okay. So now, similarly, like add, we have to do the update, but I have to specify one thing. Since the entity is modified, so what it is going to do, it is going to add one more with same ID. Since we have a primary key of ID, so that confliction will happen. It won't allow you to insert one more record, duplicate record. So what you need to do, you have to specify that it's modified. So how to specify that db context dot entry of your entity, which is product dot state. What is the state? So we are going to say the state is modified now. So entity state dot modified. So we have to specify the state is modified so that it is going to do the update instead of insert again. So now how to delete? So if you want to delete, we have to first fetch the record. How to fetch? Product or where product equals to underscore db context dot product dot first dot default. Product implies ID. So fetch the record if it is exist. If it is not null means record exists. Let's implement this, remove, and then do the save changes. Product start remove and do the save changes. Let's keep debugger everywhere. Delete, put, post, get by ID, and get. Now let's run the application. So by default, Swagger will be enabled here. Swagger will be enabled. Swagger UI. Okay. So now let's go on see this. So it's got this is our managed product. Get, post, get by ID, and put and delete as of now. Okay, so we don't have any records. First, let me start post. So how to do this? Try it out. So post product ID. Product ID no need to pass since it is a primary key. Okay, just you can remove or you can pass 0. Name. HP laptop. So this is the product name. What is the description? So specify some. Click on execute. It is going to insert the data. So now it should hit the debugger. Post. You could able to see the values got entered here. So click on continue. It will insert. So it will insert the data. So we get the 200 response. Now go and check this whether data is there or not in the table. Right click, select 1000 rows. We'll get the record got inserted here. Okay, so identity we started with 100. That's why 100 came out here. So let me try to insert one more. Execute. It is going to insert one more record. Now check the database. So there are two data streams stored, inserted. So now that session price 10,000 MRP 11,000. Insert. It is going to insert it. Now, if I want to see all the watches, all the products, you can execute. It will give you the get. It will give you the list of products, whatever we have, all the products in the JSON format. Yes, we got it. Product 100, HP laptop, Dell laptop, Titan watch. So I want to modify something, some data I need to modify. For example, Titan watch, I need to modify. Or let me insert one more Apple Watch. Apple smartwatch. So, for example, price 50,000, MRP 16. So I have inserted this. I need to modify something. There is a slight change in the data. So what you need to do? You need to update this. How can I update? So if you want to do the update, so you have to specify the everything here along with your ID, which record I need to update. So for example, I execute this. So you have 103, that is the product ID. We have to specify that product ID 103. So that it is going to update in that particular Apple Watch. For example, price, there is a change. 60 is the price. MRP is 75,000. Okay, like this, I need to update. So let's execute so that it is going to update. So it is asking that ID. So we can remove that so that it won't ask. So now it's got updated. Updated means we'll get the 200 success. Okay, now let's go and check in the database. So updated with latest details. I want to check 103 product. I need to get that particular product alone. So we have, there is one more command, get by ID. So here, what I am going to give 103, third product, which will give you the Titan, Apple Watch 103. Okay. So 102 will get Titan. So it is going to get that particular record. Why? Because it is going to execute this. Get where it matches with the product ID, get that product alone. So next, for example, let's assume we have inserted a duplicate record. I want to delete. For example, post. So I have inserted one more record. Let's assume Apple Watch. It's a duplicate. So now let's do get by get all the products. So if you see Apple Watch, so this is the actual record 103. 104 get inserted. So it's a duplicate. I want to remove this. So this is 104. Just give the ID for the delete. So what I want to do here, I want to do the delete. Expand this, try it out. Let's give the ID alone 104. Click on execute. What will happen? This is going to check and find if there is a product with that ID 104. If there is a product, it will fetch that particular details. Apple smartwatch. So let's do the delete. Save changes, which will do the commit. Now deleted successfully. So let's go and see. There shouldn't be duplication now because we have removed that record, which is 104. Whatever 104 is there, execute this, it won't be there here. This is how we'll implement the Web API CRUD operations with DB first approach. So what is the thing we have implemented first? We have created a Web API project. Then we have installed the packages like Entity Framework Core, Tools, and SQL Server. And we have created a table called product like this. I have created a product ID, name, description, price, and MRP. And I have set the identity for auto generation and I set the primary key. Once this is done, then we need to set the connection string. Here we set the connection string. I'll go to assetting.json. Here, if you see connection string, we have added here. So, and then in the program.cs, we added the connection string here, the default connection string. So then what we did using scaffolding tools, you get package manager console. So with the help of scaffolding, we in the help of DB first. So models folder is C. With the help of models folder, everything got created inside this. Okay. So that's why output directory models. So with the help of scaffolding command, we could able to implement the connection to the database. Then we have created a controller, API controller, which is manage product with all the product features like get by ID, post, put, and delete.